Hey Matt, good evening. Good evening. And welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, PiMacleod. We're here at day 4206. And again, they're not ready for someone to hit this milestone, I guess. 2 days straight now of a blank landscape, vast and empty in front of me. No one knows when it'll be filled or if ever. I've reached the end of my rope. Oh well. Hey John, how's it going? Hey, good to see you, dude. Okay, so today, simple enough. We're just gonna go do a Crash the Titans, but not just any Crash the Titans. Yeah, it's still broken, Matt. We're gonna do this Crash the Titans. Why is this important? Well, I mean, it's double Mordo day, don't you know? We always get more fun with double Mordos. No, that's not really the reason. We get to use someone different. She doesn't have a Crash yet. A new person to add to the list. I mean, there's a lot of 4-stars, so it takes years, unfortunately, to go through the entire roster of 4-stars to get them all the Crash they deserve. All the Crashes they deserve? Yeah, whatever. So, I guess we get to do this twice, though, which is a little annoying. Why couldn't we get, like, 2 different enemies for it? Whatever. Alright. So Mordo, let's start off with a little description as we usually do. Trip down memory lane. Mordo came out for Marvel Puzzle Quest way back when Doctor Strange was already introduced, but not too long before, not too long separate from the movie, you know, from the first Doctor Strange movie. Honestly, at the time, not a lot of people knew who he was, unless you were a big comic book fan. And beyond that, the movie had to teach us more. Because most casuals, like myself, I'll put myself there, didn't know the guy. He comes into Marvel Puzzle Quest as a 4-star. Blasphemy, because our Doctor Strange at the time was only 3-star, or 5-star if you were at that point in the game. And, well, he just doesn't hit like the 3-star or the 5-star does. He doesn't have any passives. He doesn't have any shine to make him work right from the get-go. In fact, he's kind of dull for most points, except when you have the AP to fuel him. He's kind of got a good kit if you have the AP to fuel him, and if the enemy has the AP to get hit with. Makes sense? No, it doesn't. Let me explain. His purple is basically a punishment tool. If the enemy hoards any one color, well, whatever pool of AP the enemy has the highest of, doesn't matter the color. If yellow's their highest, if red's their highest, doesn't matter the color. Whatever the highest pool is, he hits them for damage per AP in their highest colored pool. And yes, that can get pretty beefy. There is no up to a max because 30 AP is the max. So the more they're hoarding, the worse it is for them. And then, of course, at the end of that damage, then he depletes some of it for them as well. It's pretty ugly, honestly. But it is also a little pricey. It's like 9, I want to say. It's 9 or 10. We'll have to look when we get into the fight, but it doesn't come into play that often because honestly, when people are thinking Puzzle Quest nowadays, 9 AP is kind of a late game move. Anyways, his blue is pretty damaging. You probably recognize it from the Welcome to S.H.I.E.L.D. Fights that we do. His blue can be pretty damaging, and it's good for all things it does, but it is, again, in that 8 to 9 range. It's a little pricey. It gets more disgusting if someone's lowering the cost, which we all know, right? And then his black is probably the most ho-hum of them all. It's just a nice, solid, well, little nuke, meh, but it makes some charge tiles on the board. And if he has enough black charge tiles on the board when he casts it, it does more damage based on that. That's really it. His black is probably the least impressive of the 3 of tools, but hey, they've gone ahead and done us the favor of increasing that to 5, blue to 5, and the worst one down to 3. So count our lucky stars, I guess. We're good to go against a not so good Mordo. Is there any fear here? No, just don't let him stockpile blue and purple. I mean, the black isn't much to worry about. And thankfully for us, we get to use the blue and purple because we're using Clea. Clea came in a lot later on, after Mordo, after Doctor Strange. Clea's pretty new, honestly. What? A year and a half old? No, maybe 2 years at tops. Kind of hard for me to tell right now. It's been a minute, but she's not that old. She's basically a Doctor Strange, but newer, nowadays newer. She comes into the game with a kind of a similar kit when it comes to her passives, and then more on top of it. I'd have to say that honestly, I think they did a good job making her. She isn't used that much by anyone really right now, but at the same time, there's no reason not to. It's just, well, the other characters are the reason. We have a lot of other meta characters in our rosters right now, and Clea just only fits certain situations. I still wouldn't say to ignore her. Far from it. Let's start down on her yellow. Her yellow is probably the most familiar feeling ability, the Faltinian Inferno. I'll start at the passive, because that'll probably sound the most familiar as well. Whenever an enemy fires a power, deal damage to the target and give a burst of health to the team. Sound familiar? Sound very Doctor Strange-esque? That's because it is. It's pretty much the same darn thing. So yes, you can pal her up with Doctor Strange on the same team and then double smack around some goons that are trying to hit you in PvE. Easy enough, right? But also, while she's in this Faltinian form... Oh, hello. Hey, Dark. Thanks for the sub, dude. Man, I appreciate it. Dang, thanks a lot, man. Good to see you too. Where did the time go? Not to us. I don't know where it went. So while in Faltinian form, Clea will take no match damage and her abilities deal 35% more damage. What is Faltinian form anyways? Well, we skipped the active paragraph, didn't we? Her active states for 8 yellow AP. She deals some damage when she casts it, to the target. It's less damage than the passive, mind you. And then she changes into this Faltinian form. That can't be held for long, it says. At the start of each turn, the team loses 1 red AP. Just 1. If there's 0 red AP remaining, Clea returns to normal. So, like we said, when she casts it, she goes into that form, and she takes no match damage, and her abilities will deal 35% more damage. So yes, Shang-Chi, you're not hurting her. Colossus, it was cute, but no. Honestly, she's just a brick wall at that point. She's pretty much like Emma in her diamond form. She's not going to get hit by no measly match damage at that point. So, really good against match damage peoples, right? Of course, we have a lot of other powers in the game to fear, but still, they have to cast those powers, right? Usually, I mean, if they're passive, that still sucks for her. Okay, so let's move up to... We'll save purple for last. That's a little more complicated. The Manacles of Mokar. I'll pump it up to 5 so you can see the full gamut of it. For 9 blue, you select a basic tile. You create a 1-turn repeater that deals some damage per turn. And it's pretty good damage compared to the yellow. Remember, it can be boosted too if she's in that Faltinian form. While this tile is on the board, the target's powers may not be activated. So, like, basically you hit them with a good old Final Fantasy silent spell. They can't do anything. They're muted. And that includes, like, and it says target's powers. That doesn't mean, like, it basically just makes it so they can't do a lot of their stuff. Polaris can't stun you. You're going to have a lot of characters that literally just can't do their thing. It doesn't make them worthless, but it really does shut them up for a bit. And not to mention, if she's got that Faltinian form on and she can't take match damage, you've kind of just shut them out of a lot of their abilities. She really does just kind of pick apart the enemy one piece at a time. And they may only deal damage to Clea as well, by the way, at that point. So, like, if she got the manacles on someone, that person isn't hurting your other people. So if you do have a squishy Polaris on your team, or Rocket or whatever, yeah, they're not going to get hurt because you got the manacles on that person. At least not by that person. Anyways, you get the point. Finally, there's Creative Caster. Creative Caster does require you to get the thinking juices going. You can't just go through the game with Clea and go tap, 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 I win. No. For her to really use her kit fully, you kind of have to think about what you're doing, especially about her purple. If you're not that sort of player, I highly suggest increasing your manacles to level 5 and reducing your Creative Caster down to 3. I, on the other hand, like to play with Creative Caster a lot more. What I missed there? Can you imagine her on a team with a tank and then she throws out her blue and yellow? Blue won't allow the enemy to hurt anyone but her, and then yellow won't allow her to get hurt except for with powers. That's insane. It's true. It is super true. That was a big part with her Welcome to Shield, if I remember correctly. With her Welcome to Shield, you could just have her... We were just having her sit up there and like tank a lot of stuff. With the right people surrounding her, you could really deplete the enemy's options. It was really good. Put in a 5-star Yelena next to her, and she's depleting their AP. Fun times, right? Anyways, hey, I said, hey there, YouTube. I see, can I say Nathaniel? And Jimmy. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, if you have a question, go ahead. Type it out there. I'll try to answer it. In the meantime, Creative Caster for 8 purple, you select a 3x3 block of tiles. She destroys the selected tiles and creates a new spell on the spot, meaning like immediately, not like on that spot, okay? To harness her energy in different ways, applying different effects based on selected colors. In other words, the colors you select in that 3x3 blocks actually fuel what's going to happen next. There's a few pages of text, but let me just break it down for you. Each one of these walls of text basically states if there's 3 or more of a certain color, you're going to get a certain effect. 3 or more red. Well, let's look at the. Let's see. Well, let's start with blue. It's right there. 3 or more blue. Stun the target for 4 turns. If there's 4 or more blue, stun the target for 5 turns. Simple, right? 3 or more purple. Well, for every 3 purple, actually, you create 5 purple trap tiles. If she would take damage, instead just remove a trap. Remember what we were just talking about, Dark, where she just locks down the enemy? Yeah, put all these traps too. You're going to do some damage to me with a green door or some sort of Polaris passive? Nah, traps. Traps for days. It's kind of like a similar version to Electra's Black, the Shadow Dance, I believe it's called. Anyways. For yellow, 3 or more, she heals her teammates for a little bit of health per tile. Just for casting it with any yellow in there, you heal yourself for a little bit too. 3 or more black, you get a 4-turn black countdown tile that steals 2 AP in the enemy's strongest color with AP per turn. In other words, every turn that countdown goes down, you're getting 2 more AP out of it. This costs 8 purple, mind you. 4 turns, 2 per turn, you're getting your actual full amount of AP back for casting it on 3 or more black. Well, maybe not all on purple, but you get the point. For reds, for each red tile in there, deal a decent amount of damage for what you're really doing here. If there's 3 or more reds in there, the damage is increased by 60%. If there's 3 or more green tiles in the area, destroyed tiles deal 300% of Clea's average match damage to the enemy team. In other words, look around your board. Do you see a good amount of blue? There's a stun waiting for you right there. Is there some purple mixed in there as well? Hey, you get some traps that are going to protect her. Or maybe you have some red mixed in with the blue. That's a stun with extra damage built in. You could really just look at the board with 8 purple and just say, hey, I see a nice 3 yellow, 3 green, 3 red right there. And just, oh, that's 3 effects in one cast. It's pretty handy, but you got to keep your eyes open and look around. Anyways, did you say it? Is it weird to stay up till 4 to 4:30 a.m.? It would be. I haven't done that forever. Where I'm at, it is Eastern Daylight Time, so up to like, I don't know, say around midnight, 1 o'clock for me. So I guess it would be for my age, though. I have kids and family to tend to in the morning, so anyways, any other questions, shout them out. Let's see. Oh yeah, that was Clea in a nutshell, though. Well, that's a pretty big nutshell, but if you see the point here, her blue is good at holding down the enemy, making sure your teammates stay safe. They're going to take some damage from even just being hit with the manacles. Yellow is basically firing off on someone for casting a power, even having the audacity to, and healing as well. And then purple can do a gamut of different things. We're talking stuns, AP theft, protection, healing. There's a lot it could do. I wouldn't say she's a total package because you have to be cognizant. She doesn't run herself. You have to be aware of what you have, what the board has, what the enemy is doing. She's not a just throw her in there and she fixes your solutions, fixes your problems for you. You have to actually think when you use her. So, no, she's not for everyone. But is she good? Yes. In the right hands, she's actually quite good. Okay, what was I seeing over there? I missed that. Dark. Might have to ascend Clea to see how it affects her powers. That's a good question. I have not seen a 5 Clea yet. I would wonder what she looks like at that point too. What is the average airspeed of an unladen swallow? Nice. No, she's not a total package, but yes, she is a support beast for sure. If you're a new player, you don't have Clea, I'm sorry to say it. You're probably not going to make it through this crash, but on the other hand, if you happen to pull a cover or two for her this week, I wouldn't tell you not to try. You could always throw on some boosts. If you have a good support, you could try. You could get lucky, but a new character with just a couple covers in it, it's pretty rough. You need a pretty good support to help you with that too, like Leapfrog or Eros Arrow, something like that at a decent level. Okay, so let's get rid of the boosts. We don't need that. We don't need a support on her right now. We're just going to play her all natural. Oh, almost forgot. I'm sorry someone didn't tell me already. Got to go in, turn on the animations. We got a one-on-one fight here, and we like to see it in full effect. I do this every week, don't I? Anyways, ready? Clea versus Mordo. Go. All right. We want yellows. We want purples. We want blues. Purples are obviously the most fun. Oh, and as a side note, Mordo wants the blues and purples too, so we kind of got to take those over yellows. So if I, for example, did this, it depletes him of that option. He could take the black. That's quite okay with us. I would rather take the blue. I mean, the purple, I'm sorry. I do actually want the blue, but beggars can't be choosers, right? Much as I want that blue, I can just do a creative caster right now. So we want to like have them at our mercy. We could just do this right now. Creative caster, 3x3 set of blocks. There's 4 blue right there. Remember, 4 blue stuns him for 5 turns. That's mean. That's not even fair. But we're gonna do it. 5 turns of do what I want? Are you kidding me? That's really good. So let's take this yellow into blue cascade. And we'll take some more purple. We can prep for another stun fest or damage fest or whatever we want at a different time. We can get the manacles ready. He's almost out of stun, but that's okay. We've got a nice head start on him for AP once again. I guess we'll take the yellow over here. Let's take that yellow. I want to drop those blue a bit. I was hoping they would line up a little better. I don't see any blue, I don't see any purple, and I don't see any yellow, so let's ruin his day and take his black away. And he got a different black. Whatever. What's he gonna do, right? Right. The Manacles of Mokar. Sounds so much more hardcore than watching this. Choose a basic blue. We'll put it right there in the corner, nice and safe, tucked away. That's a bit more of an animation than I remember it having. I'll give it that much. So deals damage per turn. So he's just going to start ticking away his health. If I could have stunned him now, he just literally can't do anything but take it. Let's go with that team up. I should have just grabbed the yellow. Don't know why I didn't. I guess we'll grab the red for no reason, just to drop the blue down. Hey, you're gonna get to see his black come out soon, which is nice. Just for the animation purposes, right? Oh, Faltinian form coming up. Ooh, we're gonna light up. That's the coolest thing about her, is when you do fire off her yellow, she gets that nice fiery hairdo. Pretty sweet. And then he's gonna take the blue. Can he not fire off yet? 10 for blue, 9 for purple, 10 for black. Okay, yeah, I guess he's just barely out of range. And that's why it's another reason he's not that good. His AP everything costs a little too much to beat him. Well, let's finish him off. We'll do what? Right over here. There's like 3 red. Trying to see if there's anything else in there. 3 red, there's some yellow for healing. Let's do it. Look at that, a nuke with healing. A nuke with built-in healing. And in Faltinian form, it's 35% more damage on top of it. Kind of ridiculous. Well, it's almost as ridiculous as, you know, fighting him twice. But hey, it's a legendary token, so am I going to complain? No, we're just going to go in there and run this again. I'm just going to keep the same build. We could manacles up some more, but really that would just do more damage per tick, which isn't a bad deal. It's just we're already manhandling them. Manacles or not. Let's just roll. Oh, campfire due to manacles, you're saying? That's true, wasn't it? That's true. He didn't have the blue yet, but he did have the black. You're right on that. Good catch. I'm so used to him just doing it. Oh, wow. They're just going to give me match 5? Do you think Mordo set that up himself because he's just like, finish me now. I don't want to deal with this anymore? I think I'll let him have the black. Go for it, dude. Have fun. Because I'm getting match 5s and you're not going to turn those down. Nope. That's a lot of luck we've had here with this. Let's see how this works. We'll do this on the 3 purples, right? So if I did this right, I need 3 purples to make the traps, right? So we'll play around with this right here. I could do it right here. That does the damage too. Let's do that one. Whew! Dang. That's a lot of damage. I'll let him have the crit, honestly. Because if I match it with the yellow or something else, it'll make my traps go away. I just want to kind of let him do what he's doing right now. Let's let him play. Look at that. No damage. I took a crit to the face. Nope. She's like, nah. Not today. Not today, Satan. It's not like the same as a stun, but it feels like it. It's ineffective moves on him. Ah, he got a bunch of blue there. And my traps are gone. Oh well. I don't see any blues, no yellow, so I'm taking the purple. And I guess I'll take that purple. One cast away from winning in almost anything. He doesn't have anything to cast himself either. I guess I'll just do this. Let him have the black. Or the blue. Fine. Go ahead, take that. I'm trying to let him cast something before he dies. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to turn on the crit. This isn't the Mordo show. He can't just get away with what he wants because I'm feeling sad for him. Oh, there he goes. Oh, with the staff. And then she's like, yeah, no. No real big animation for that, but I think that's because by that point in the game, when Puzzle Quest, when the developers made her, they realized people hated to see repeated animations over and over and over again, so they're just kind of like, everyone gets it. Damage went out. Anyways. So, yeah, was that dark? Yeah, easy. Yeah, she could do it twice. So nice she could do it twice, and she did. That's it. That's Klea's Crashes of the Titans. I wish they would have given us someone to go against. I don't know. You could have given us Mordo and then Wong. I don't know. Something like that, right? Just give us another sorcerer to fight. Would have been nice. Okay. That's all I got for this one. That's it. That's my crash for this one. I have to edit this video and upload it. I'm currently in the background editing my Puzzle Gauntlet one, though, so I'll get that one up before the crash goes. Thank you very much for joining me, Nathaniel. I can call you that. Matt, Jimmy, and also John and Dark. I appreciate it as always. You have a good one. Oh, did I get good pools from the Puzzle Gauntlet? I did, man. I did get good pools for the Puzzle Gauntlet. Not really. I got like a rank or two up, and I did finish off the Eros Arrow. I was like 10 shards shy, and so like the next day after I got one more support token, so I used it because I'm 10 shards away, right? So I finished off Eros Arrow. But that's really it. It wasn't the best pools ever, but it was something. It was enough to push things forward, right? Right. Anyways. Okay. I'm out of here now. I'll leave you be. Have a good one, everyone. I'll see you in a few days, probably. Later.